Okay, this is part 2 of the Buffalo Pen Applet video. First thing I'm going to do is create, I meant to go to View and create Graphics 2. And then I'm going to create an equation for the area. Now I'm going to call it f of x, which is something you may not be familiar with. And basically that just means it's a function, which means like an equation. There's a more strict definition of it, which we'll talk about later, but it means that the variable in it is x. Now here is your area formula, which is the perimeter divided by 2, x, and you had w, but this axis over here is the x-axis, so we have to name it an x, and we'll connect it to w later. So minus x squared. And you can see we get a graph here. If we click on this, we can shorten the axes. Drag it down here. Okay, now I'm going to create a point P that has coordinates. One thing that we have to do here, I want to make sure that you guys are clear on this. This graphics 2 area has to be bolded in order for anything that we create to go in it. So we have to make sure that if we want to do something, we're going to create a point P that goes in here, that the graphics 2 is bolded. So P is equal to the width, and then as the x coordinate or the horizontal coordinate, and then the y coordinate for it is going to be the area of the polygon, poly 1, which you can see is right here. So I do that, and there's P, and that's connected to, as I adjust the width with this guy here, you can see it goes up and down. As it adjusts the width of the rectangle, it moves this guy back and forth. Next function is I'm going to use a GeoGebra specific function, and I'm going to go M, the point M is equal to max, and I'm going to choose this option here. And the function that we're finding the maximum of, remember this is an optimization question, and we're finding the maximum of f of x. And then the starting value is at 0, because we're finding the maximum from here all the way to here. Now notice this 50 is half of the perimeter, which is at 0 right now, 100 right now, and that will always be the case. So for the next one, we want to go P, which is the perimeter, divided by 2. That's the x-intercept, or the solution to that quadratic. So if I hit enter, we get that. Okay, and so we have M. Oh, and it created it in the first graphics section, so I meant to do this. I have to click in there. Okay, there's our M, our maximum. It's at the maximum of this parabola here. Okay, I'm going to name the axes, because it's really important communication to name the axes correctly. So going to graphics 2 in the gear, and we're going to name the horizontal axis as width, and units as meters. And the vertical axis is going to be area. Something happened there. Area. And that's going to be in meters squared. Okay, so we've got that labeled there. And then I'm going to turn the grid on here. Click in it, and and then turn the grid on. Now I'm going to add some text. I can do that by clicking on the ABC, and then I can click right here, and I'm going to put the text maximum area equals. I'm going to link the output of this text value to the area. So if I click on it, then I get polygon 1. And you can see this is a preview. Then the maximum area is equal to 623.56. And then it appears there. If I right click on it, I go to properties. I can make the text bigger. So I'm going to make it medium. I'm going to make it red. And then I'm going to go to advanced, and I'm going to do something called condition to show object. When m is equal to p, when point m is equal to p, and I push enter and you get this thing here, then it will show it. And you can see that it's disappeared now. So what happens if I do this? Oh, there we go. So as I move the width, that tells me this thing pops up. I can move this around. Right. Well, you can move around as you like. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the gear, and I'm going to go to graphics 1. Now, one thing I really want in this area is I want the x-axis to y-axis ratio to be 1, because otherwise it doesn't look like a square when it's a square. So if this is 25-25, it should look square, and it wasn't equal axis. The ratio wasn't equal, so I did that to make it visually more understandable. Next, I'm going to create a text box for this slider here. Actually, just click on the area. Perimeter equals, and then I'm going to click on P, and that you can see the perimeter is dependent on what my P is at, and so you can see what's starting to happen here. Now I don't want this twice, so I'm going to right click on this and I'm going to click on show label, and that makes it disappear. I'm also going to right click on this so I can get the object properties. I'm going to make the text medium size. And now if I want to move these sliders around, it's kind of tricky, but I have to click on this slider thing, and so I'm going to drag that down here, and I'm going to, then if I want to move the text around, I have to be on the arrow. Now I'm going to create another text box. Oops. And I'm going to go width is equal to, and I'm going to make that dependent on W. Okay, and that shows up. And what I'm going to do is here, I'm going to right click. I'm going to make this label go away. Right click again on that text box, object properties, text, and again medium size. Okay. Now, maybe I want to change this to maximum, so I'm going to rename this. And hopefully that won't mess with anything. So if I adjust this, that was a problem. So now my little text doesn't appear, so I'm going to undo that. Okay, now did that. Okay, well don't do that, because then your text will disappear. Maximum area is equal to polygon 1 again. Okay, I'm going to format that again. Right click, object properties, text, medium, color, advanced, M equals P, enter. Let's see if that fixes it. Oh, it didn't. Okay, well, whatever you do, don't change the name of that maximum point from M, otherwise it screws everything up. Okay, now, that's pretty much it. I can hide the P label if I want. Right click. And then what I want to do is this. I'm going to close that, and then I can adjust things to as I see fit. The next step is going to be to upload it as an applet on the GeoGebra tube, which I will show you how to do later. That's the end of this tutorial.